Hello again, chapter 25. Driving over to Amy's that afternoon, my intentions are good, but I have to admit this girl's going to be a challenge. Judging from how her parents and her best friend treat her, she may be the biggest pushover I've seen since Kenny Hall. Poor little Kenny. He reminded me of a character out of a fairy tale. He lived down the street with his stepfather and 3 stepbrothers. His mom committed suicide. The stepbrothers were enormous thugs. While they were out vandalizing road sign or inhaling spray paint or whatever, scrawny little 8 feet or pushing their giant lawn mower up and down the street front yard in the 100-degree heat. But you knew there wasn't any fairy godmother waiting out there to zap Kenny into some shining prince. But you knew there wasn't any fairy godmother waiting out there to zap Kenny into some shining prince. All I could do was go over and help him mow the lawn now and then before he got stuck underneath the mower and spit out the side like a batch of hamburger meat. Anyway, I'm expecting Amy house to be a real shack, but it's actually a lot like the house I lived in before the era of kitsch. Basically, a small brick cube with a gray roof that needs new shingles and scruffy little backyard with no trees or shrubs or flower or anything else. Sorry. At least my old house had an overgrown hedge and a cool red bud tree to climb in. But this house doesn't have even a shot glasses force of character to it. After taking a hit of whiskey with a mouthwash chaser, I head up to the cream porch and give the door frame a jazzy little knock. Inside, a whiny voice called out, "Amy, your boyfriend's here," which is followed by Amy going, "Please, Jane, don't embarrass me, okay?" A second later, the lock clicks and the door opens. "Sutter," she says with a cautious smile, "you're here. Right on time." Something's different about her. It takes me a moment, but Then I realize she's wearing lipstick. Sorry? Usually she doesn't wear any makeup at all. And let me tell you, this isn't better. And let me tell you, this isn't better. As for the inside of the house, it's an absolute style. Clothes peeled out, clothes peeled on, the backs of the faded sofa and recliner, fast food sacks gaping open on the coffee table, obsolete VHS tapes littering the floor, and in the middle of all this, her little brother's sprawled out his legs, flinching and twitching as he proceeds to blow up Bug-Eye Sawtooth's video game Aliens on their ancient PlayStation. This is my little brother Shane, Amy says. He's 11. Hi there, Shane. He doesn't bother to look at me. Mom says you're supposed to go to the store and get a big bottle of Dr. Pepper, he says, his hands still twisting and popping at the game. I'll get it later, she tells him. But he's like, yeah, better get it now. Randy might want some pretty soon. That's okay, she says. There is a little bit left in the fridge. I'm just saying what Mom said. You know, Shane, I step up next to the sofa. You could go it yourself. There is a convenience store right down at the end of the block. Shane responds by splurting out a raspberry. Amy laughed nervously and gave me a sheepish baby boy's look. Usually I'd hit the kid when a scolding put down, which I'm all too capable of doing, but that's not going to help Amy any. So I'm just like, that's no way to act toward a guest, little man. And he's like, you are my stinky sister's guest, not mine. Amy's face flushes crimson all the way to the tips of her ears. It looks good on her, better than the lipstick. Why don't we go back to the moon Why don't we go back to my room to study, she says, waving her hand in the direction of the hall. Ladies first, I say. She seems like she could use the gentlemanly treatment. For a change. You all better be quiet, called Shane. Randy is trying to sleep. Randy turns out to be their mother's disability collecting boyfriend. Don't worry, Amy says. On time, one time, Shane set off a bottle rocket in the bathroom and Randy never woke up. After wading through the debris in the living room and hall, I'm awestruck when Amy opens the door to her room. It's like the moment in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy opened the door and sees the land of Oz for the first time. Only instead of going from black and white to color, I'm so sorry. Only instead of going from black and white to color, this goes from an absolute dumb to an awesome, almost geometric neatness. Welcome to Amy's world. The giant map on the wall stretches out so smooth. You'd think maybe Amy ironed it, and the same goes for the big picture of the Milky Way and the pencil drawing that hang on the other walls. The desk looks thrift store cheap, and the computer is practically 20th century like their VCR. The desk looks thrift store cheap, and the computer is practically 20th century like their VCR, but everything's the pen and notebooks and ceramic cats is arranged to perfection. Her chest of drawers is similarly cheap and neat. But the thing that really strikes me is her books. A plastic snapped together set of bookshelves stand against one wall. Row after tidy row of paperback books lining each shelves. And even thought she ran out of shelves. I'm so sorry. And even thought she ran out of shelf space and had to stack probably 100 more paperbacks against the wall. Those rows are just as sparse as the others. You must really like to read, I said, admiring the stacks. They're mostly science fiction. She gazed at the books with supreme fondness. Some are mysterious, and I have quite a few old classics like Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre. I don't know. I pick up a book titled something like The Androids of NGC 3031. On the cover, a woman android with one hell of a butt dashes away from low-flying spaceship as they shoot pink laser bursts at her. This looks interesting, I say. But what I'm really like thinking is, wow, Amy, science fiction? Really? Could you try any harder to brand yourself with the mark of the nerd hair. What's next, Amy? I like to think about space, she says apologetically. Space is cool. I want to work for NASA someday. She sounds kind of tentative, like she's afraid I'll think that's a stupid ambition or something. That'd be spectacular, I say. I really think you ought to. Yeah, she says, a new enthusiasm sparkling in her eyes. And after I work there for about 5 years and get some money saved up, I'm going to buy a horse ranch to live on. I don't see what could be better than that. I guess that's why you have all these drawings of horses on the wall. I walk over and have a closer look at the drawing. Actually, her horses look more like dogs, but there is no need to mention that. I'm pretty sure for her, drawing them is a lot more important than what they are. I'm pretty sure for her, drawing them is a lot more important than what they end up looking like. I guess this is you riding the horse, huh? No. That's Commander Amanda Galicchio from the Bright Planet books. She's standing right next to me now, and I know she sees a lot more in the pictures than I do. But her story, she's command the Nixo ARK-451. They're escaping from the dark galaxy and trying to find their way to the bright planet system. In the drawing, Commander Amanda Galicchio looks a little too big for the horses. At least her body does. It's all athletic and superhero-y. But her head's kind of small, and I'm still of the opinion that she looks like Amy in the face without glasses. You must really like her, I say. Yeah, she says, with the drawn out, half-committed way she has of saying anything positive. I guess she is kind of like my hero and everything. This is all too heartbreaking. I mean, I quit on heroes by the time I go. This is all too heartbreaking. I mean, I quit on heroes by the time I got to 5th grade. This girl needs some help, and some needs it now. So I'm like, you know what? You'll be my own personal hero if you can stra- stra- straighten me out on this algebra business. Where should we do it? I realize my wording might have sounded a touch on the sexual side as we both look at her neat little bed with its plaid comforter. It's the only it's the only furniture in the room big enough for two people, she says. But that's as much as she can get out. So I go. Me, I all. So I go. I always do my homework on the floor, where I can spread anything out. That sounds good to her, so we get down to it. As soon as we start, she clicks into a more confident mood. But it's a sort of soft confidence, a kind confidence. She could easily start coming off. I'm so sorry. A kind confidence. She could easily start coming off as superior or even ridicule me for my mathematical idiocy. But she doesn't even come close to that. She doesn't need to. Here in the realm of books, she's self-facciered. She has some of the control she doesn't have anywhere else. And you know what? If I was a better listener, I'd bet she could get me to understand something that Mr. Astrohole never came close to. What a chapter. Finished.